What's up, rSpace fam? Time for yet another out-of-this-world story. First up, am I the a-hole for not telling my ex-wife about my new girlfriend until she found out on her own? My ex-wife and I have been divorced for 2 years. We share custody of our 2 sons, 5 and 7. We still live within half an hour of each other, which makes co-parenting relatively simple in regards to picking up and dropping off the kids. All in all, I think we do a pretty good job of making sure the kids are as well adjusted as they can be at this point, and we communicate as well as we can. However, there was one thing I haven't told my ex about yet. About 3 to 4 months ago, I met someone. We took it relatively slow starting out, but have since gotten fairly serious and have been spending a lot of time together. I have made a point not to have her at my house when I have the kids, because I'm not ready to introduce my kids to anyone they might think of as a replacement to their mom, and also because it's only been a few months. New girlfriend knows I have kids and am divorced, and she hasn't pressured me at all into meeting them or anything like that. Since the relationship is relatively new, I haven't told my ex. For one, I don't know where this new relationship will go. It's my first relationship after the divorce. Also, I don't know if my dating life is her business or not, as long as I'm not exposing my kids to any of it. Well, this all blew up in my face a couple weeks ago. My ex was going to drop the kids off with me in the afternoon, and my new girlfriend had spent the night before. The new girlfriend and I stayed in bed a little later than usual, as new couples want to do. What I didn't notice during the time was that my ex had called and sent texts saying that she needed to drop the kids off sooner than she had planned, due to a work emergency. Ex ended up just driving over to my house and saw my car there, so she rang the doorbell, which just happened to be answered by my new girlfriend, wearing nothing but a towel because I was still in the bathroom. Needless to say, a whole lot of awkwardness ensued, and my new girlfriend rushed out of the house as fast as she could. My ex and I got the kids settled in, and then she wanted to talk to me before she left. My ex was pissed that I had a girl over and accused me of exposing our kids to random women. I tried to explain to her what happened and told her she wasn't supposed to just show up at my house like that anyway, and that she was half a day early with dropping the kids off. But she wouldn't listen. She called me an a-hole for not answering my phone and called me and my new girlfriend a bunch of names too. I get that this all came as a shock to her and it wasn't my intention for my ex to find out like this. But I also feel like I'm allowed to live my own life as I want now and don't need permission from anyone. I keep my dating life separate from my kids and meet all my obligations to my sons. Should I have told my ex about me dating again? Was I an a-hole to keep this a secret from her? I have my own thoughts and reservations, but I'll leave it to the community to respond. Illuminator 007 first up. Not the a-hole. You seem to have taken reasonable measures with this relationship in terms of not bringing this new partner into your children's lives. As such, it's not particularly your ex's business until it involved your children. You made an honest mistake in not paying attention to your phone, and are generally operating responsibly. Your ex? While you have the benefit of the knowledge of how you're keeping this new partner separate from your children for now, the time to consider what this new relationship means to you and how to create some compartmentalization between her and your children, your ex did not have the benefit of this knowledge, or time to process it. She had a work emergency, couldn't get in touch with you, and was greeted by a half-naked woman. Her actions, in terms of calling you and her names, were not appropriate. But perhaps they were slightly excusable within the framework of your having had several months to think about this, versus her only having had several minutes to think about it. If the roles were reversed, i.e. you had a work emergency, couldn't get a hold of her and knocked on her door, and to be greeted by a half-naked man, as to your first hint she's dating someone new, with no knowledge of how this person was or was not in your children's lives, would you react in the best way possible? I think neither of you have been perfect here. You in not answering your phone, and her in overreacting. But neither rises to the level of a-hole. Anonymous 237 chimed in, "This right here. The only thing that kind of makes me lean towards OP being an a-hole is that he's got multiple texts and at least one call about his kids and didn't even notice. I don't know about other parents out there, but when my kid isn't with me, my phone is checked every time it makes a sound just to make sure everything's okay. Other than that though, yeah, OP can live his life, but X is reasonably concerned about a naked stranger by not just being in her kid's home, but by being comfortable enough to answer the door. She may have overreacted. I don't know since I wasn't there, but man, I would freak the F out if some rando was naked around my kid. Not an a-hole since no one was bad enough to really be an a-hole, even though I think everyone does kinda suck." Mockingbird82 tacked on, "That's what bothers me too. Dude is acting like the kids only exist when they're in his line of sight. Part of co-parenting is being able to communicate when they're not with you. It was just a work emergency this time, It could have been something more dire the next time. Accident Loyalit responds, "Y'all are acting as if every human is perfect. He didn't forget about them at school. He made a mistake that you probably already made. Being a parent doesn't make him immune to those mistakes." Now on to the next story. Caught her cheating on our anniversary. On Friday, our would-be 3-year anniversary, I found out the news the girl I was seeing another man for the last month and a half. When we first started seeing each other in December of 2017, I was fresh out of a toxic relationship, and so she neither wanted to put a label on it, and we didn't until February 2018. But even without the label, we both expressed how we didn't want anyone else except each other. Stupid, I know, the whole no label thing. So in February of 2018, we started dating, and in September of 2018, I find out that she was seeing me behind another guy's back from when we first started, until from what I can be certain of around March 2018. This guy ends up being the guy she cheats on me with. I get mad, and she uses the excuse we weren't together, so we could be with whoever she wants. I love this girl, so I try my best to get past it and stay with her. From September of 2019 to August of 2020, we ended up having 3 miscarriages, which I know messed with her mentally, and our relationship was rocky pretty much after that. So we start going to the gym together because the pregnancies made her hate her appearance, and she starts posting photos on Instagram. I catch on to a pattern of a certain guy commenting and liking photos, and my over-paranoid thoughts come into play finally in December of 2020. She comes home drunk one night, and I snoop her phone to find her sending nudes to the guy liking and commenting all of her pics. I didn't look any deeper as I was so furious, I packed my things and left that minute. That was December 14th of 2020. From then till almost New Year's, she's calling me, texting me, begging me to take her back, or even give her a shot to regain my trust and start again. So like a fool, I moved back in on New Year's Eve. For January up until the end, we were working on us, and I'm thinking it's going to work out regardless how much she's wronged me, but one day I see a text from a familiar number. The next day, she forgets her Apple Watch at home, and again, my paranoid self snoops to find out that they have been talking to each other since about Christmas and have been sleeping together for a couple weeks. Regardless if we weren't together yet, we were supposed to be working on us, and it baffles me because in December, I was gone. If she wanted this guy, she had her chance, but she begged me to come back just to cheat not even a month later and completely ruin my life and I guess the guy's girlfriend at the time. I'm just having a hard time with self-worth and what to do with my life. I make like $45K and houses apartments aren't cheap where I live. The new home aspect I'll figure out. But how to recover and move forward is where I'm struggling. Figured that was what this Reddit was for, so here I am. Figured I should mention I have left her and moved out. She's now with the person she cheated on me with. He also cheated on his girlfriend for her. Now I'm just hoping for advice about how I am to move forward, if there's tips or whatever, if someone who's been in my situation has any advice. Alright, let's turn to the community and see how they can help. Psychological Cream 71 says, "Please do not doubt your self-worth. This reflects on her, not you. You cared enough to work on your relationship. She didn't. You cared enough to be faithful. She didn't. You cared enough to be there. She didn't. If you can't afford where you're living, move? Start again? I did. You can do it. Just put the blame where it belongs, on her." The OP comes back. "It's hard due to work to just up and move, and seems COVID has killed the job market, but I'm pushing to find a roommate and get an apartment or something. Just hard with the lack of self-worth after being cheated on multiple times in my life to not feel like it's something to do with me. As much as I know that it's them being terrible people, just the thought of that in the back of my head sucks." Psychological Cream 71 comes back one more time with, "I know those feelings. It took me some time to get over those. It's painful. I was never slim enough, pretty enough, classy enough, smart enough. I've now come to see that when someone mistreats you, it has almost nothing to do with you. Other people's behavior is about them. Your value and worth do not change because of someone else's behavior. Reread that as many times as you need to. You will make it through this, and she will have to live with what she did." Eniadav071984 says, "She is playing with you for 3 years, and God knows how many more years you will let her play with you. You will end up in this position again. You are not learning and giving chance after chance to a lying cheater to screw your world. Don't plan kids with her, or you will be miserable for the rest of your life." To which the OP responds, "Oh no, I guess I should have made it clearer in the post, but I left her, and she's now, from what I can tell, with that guy again. I just don't know how to move forward here, and I figured this subreddit was people who have been in my position or something like it, so I was hoping people can tell me how they moved on and to get over it." I'm an angel, round us out. I'm young, only 20, but I've been with my boyfriend since 16, and I'm going through something similar. My boyfriend went out with other girls without telling me and texted other girls day and night for many months before breaking up with me. Although I always accused him of things, so I feel if I would have acted clueless like I didn't suspect anything about it, he wouldn't have left. But I found out about most of it after, so when he came back running, to him I of course texted because I wanted answers. But it led to me getting reattached to him, and we talked every day until a few days ago. I started to no contact, and it's been hard. What I can say is you really will be okay with time. This guy is my first love, and I know he'll affect me forever, but there's so many people out there. Think about all her negatives and why you don't need someone like that. Life is short, and you want to spend it with a person who's going to treat you like nothing while you treat them like everything? Find someone who will treat you like everything and let those cheaters have each other.